What was the culture like when you were a kid compared to now?
It was a lot closer family life. We never locked our doors. You know, we had family squabbles, but a lot closer. My grandmother paid us an allowance. She'd come over and give us 50 cents a week to spend. That was my mom's mom. It was a lot less violent. People were closer. It seemed like they cared more.
What was your first job?
At a babysat. Until I graduated high school. Then I went down and applied for the dietary in Akron, Ohio Children's Hospital. And I worked in the employees' cafeteria. I served the food and set up stuff, made coffee. That's where I learned I really like helping people, serving, doing things for people. That was during my party years. I decided to move to Florida with some friends. And that's where I got involved in working in nurses' aid. I worked in hospitals and dietary for a while, a couple hospitals, Clearwater, Florida. And then I got into working as a CNA, nurses' aid. I took 2 courses there. I worked in about 3 nursing homes down there. Then I moved out here in '79. It was a nursing home across the street from St. Mark's Hospital.
Okay.
I worked there for a while. And then I moved to another one out in West Jordan. I worked for a company that made checks, printed checks for banks. I worked as an operator at a doctor's office, a big one, Bangor. I can't remember the name of it. Anyhow, I worked there for about 4 years and then got a job at Marriott in the rewards department for 7 years for them. And then I retired. I loved it. In Florida, there was this older couple. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't remember their names, but I remember the incident. And they were walking down the hall, and she always wore stockings, but they had fallen down, and her boyfriend stopped, pulled her dress up over her head, and pulled her stockings up. And then one time we couldn't find them both, so we went looking for them, and they were in her room, laying in her bed, and he was on top. What are you doing? I don't know, I don't remember. And then another little lady there, she was the cutest, white-haired, like pure white. She had this pure white wavy hair. She was a lady from back, you know, when you didn't cuss. And I said, oh shit. And she said, ladies do not cuss. Well, what do I say? She said, you say custody, custody, custody. It's just helping people and loving them, you know. And I'd walk up behind them in their wheelchairs and shake them and say, earthquake, earthquake. And it's, all right, cut it out, Delores. That's some of the stories. And the good ones are the people you talk to in another country. They'd be really angry. In fact, I got a reward for a good customer care. He was so angry, and I talked him out of being angry. I had a lot of boyfriends back in my wild days. No children. I was quite promiscuous when I was in my 20s, into drugs. Not heavy, but, you know, marijuana and drinking and partying. And I can tell a story about we were out drinking. The guy had a mail truck that he had bought, and I was sitting in the back. And we were roaring down the street, and he decided to go through some woods, and we're howling down trees, and he slammed on the brakes, and my head hit the chair, and I got whiplash really bad. Woke up like this one day. For about 10 days I was disabled. Crazy stuff like that. In Florida, I hung out in a biker bar and rode home with a guy. I was quite a wild lady on a motorcycle, so we went out after the bar closed. I got on the bike, and he dropped the bike and me. The only thing that saved me was God was looking out for me, because we drove 50 miles to another city or another small town. I don't know how we got there. I don't even remember getting home the next morning. We used to go to the beach in Clearwater, Florida, and of course back in them days I was skinny, and I wear a halter top and short cutoffs, and playing frisbee in in the sun. I got sunburnt so bad that I got heat stroke and just blistered all over. I don't know how I survived. I do see spirits, always have. I was asleep and I woke up and I'm laying there and it was summertime and there was a real tall guy at the end of my bed. He must have been about 6'1", 6'2". Had red glowing eyes. It just totally scared me to death. And of course my sister wouldn't wake up. And then I finally got scared enough I pulled the blankets up over my head and laid there and shook until I could feel him was still there. And then it went away. When I lived over on the apartments on Main Street, a guy had passed away there and I knew them. And I was sitting there watching. The police had the wife outside. And he always he was a vet, wore his vet hat. He come walking out, he was dead. He died in his sleep. He come walking out of the apartment and walked down to the elevator. Nobody saw him, but I saw him. He was actually like I can see you. He was solid things. And I've had stuff happen to the apartment down 310. A guy died in there of overdose. And I kept seeing stuff there. A shadow going into the bathroom, from the kitchen to the bathroom. And then he must have followed me because he kept knocking my Celtic cross off of my bookshelf. And I told him, look, this is my house now. You're welcome to stay, but cut this shit out. I'm a good Mormon, yeah. Just dreams. And another lady passed away over in that building. And it was like one morning I woke up, she was standing by my bed, and she was smiling at me. At first, when I was young, that guy, that was a negative. But most of them since then have been a positive because that tells me there's life after this life. They're still here. It's just another dimension. So I never get scared anymore. A lot of people get freaked out. I'm used to it. When Kennedy was killed, I was in junior high school, and we were sitting in, I can't remember what class it was. The teacher, Mr. Rupp, come in and told the lady what was going on, and she started crying. We're going, what? So they come over the announcement that President Kennedy had been shot and killed. And then they sent everybody home. So I go home and started watching the news, and they showed him, and Lee Harvey Oswald being shot. I remember the first astronaut going up. Russia put the nuclear bombs missiles in Cuba. That was kind of scary because we thought, oh my gosh, we're going to get blown up. Well, I believe in UFOs. I've always wanted to go into space. I've never been prejudiced because I grew up around black people. I grew up with black kids, played with them. So I thought that was pretty cool that they get the vote. The blacks had their section that they lived in, and the whites had their.
So you were kind of the first generation of integration.
No, I guess I just grew up with a spirit that never felt that I was better than anybody else.
If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would you tell them?
Quit messing around with drugs and drinking and men. Be true to yourself. Listen to that inner voice. And love people and love yourself. And I would have committed suicide if I didn't have that faith. Take that with you. Keep it going.